now we are hopefully working okay. I'm gonna try to make a plushie on video with Umaru, who's going to help us. Say hi. Hello. This is my basic crap. I have my compass, because this one's gonna have a round head. I have my pencil. I prefer to use like a non-mechanical because the mechanical kind of tears through the paper, but I don't own any anymore. I have my marker, which if I get to any tracing, I'll show you how I use that later. And I have, these are my scissors for cutting the newsprint. I actually have a different pair of scissors for cutting fabric. I actually have a nicer pair somewhere in here, but I don't know where it is. Because you don't want to cut fabric and paper with the same scissors, because it dulls the scissors. So let's get all that out of the way. It's probably going to be a bunch of clacking and stuff during this. The paper I use right here, this is newsprint. It's great because, one, it's stupid cheap. You can get a lot of it for real low. I need more because I only have like 3 sheets. But it's 14 degrees outside and I'm not going to go get more. And it's really malleable, so it's easy to make a pattern out of it. I might lower my sound. I seem to be a little loud. Oh, it's fairly low. Huh. This mic must work really well then. Oh well, if my sound's too terrible, someone tell me. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do, this is spare paper, so I'm gonna get that out the way. We're gonna make a vague approximation of like how big we want the plush. Hopefully everyone can hear me just fine. Ah! Oops. Hello. Tell me if you can hear everything fine. Right now I'm gonna sketch like about... I have a picture of the plush, but I don't really know how to stick it up here. Let me see if I can get it from my phone. If that's not too bright. Yeah, it is. But that's what it's hopefully going to look like, at least approximately. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch it about the size and like dimensions I would want it, so I can work from that later. And it's okay to like be really messy right now. Some people ask me like, how do you know which one you want? And I'm like, it's the line that looks correct. Ugh. So this is a little bit confusing probably. You have the body. You have the little skirt. I should move my phone out the way because it's making everything brighter. And this is going to be really light right now because this is just a sketch. I'll move that up a bit. There's about where I want the skirt. Hello! And this is going to be the little stand it stands on. And its hair. It's going to be about there. Ruffles. The eyes are going to be about here. And about that size. And I'm going to bring this in a bit. Make it a little less chunky wonky. That's where the belt's going to be. That's where the thing's going to be. And arms about this big. So when it comes out, he'll be about, I'd say that's about a foot tall. Maybe like 10 inches or so. This is going to be the basis. And then, just in case I want to trace anything later, I go over things with a marker. That way when I trace, they're easier to see. Because this is going to be like the size metrics for everything that's going to be going on. I really should be using more math, but I'm not a math person. If anything looks wrong, I just redo it. So doing more math would probably give me more time, or save me more time, but I'm not, no. This is going to end about here, and then it will ruffle out. So this part will be connected here, so I have to make this longer. This way when I trace later, I can see it easier. And what I do is I take this, because this is small, I'm going to cut it out. using my not sewing scissors. And the first thing I'm going to do, the head is obviously going to be like a sphere. So I have my compass. To make a sphere, there's a nice trick to it when sewing. Basically like, let's see if I can find the center of this. Yeah, okay. You take basically the circumference of the circle and you make a circle about 25% bigger. So this is half of the circle right here. There's about 15% on each side. We're going to go over here. I don't smack my headphones into everything. And we're going to make a circle that's about 25% bigger than this. And then we're going to cut that out. And then we're going to fold it in half. So you got a little half a circle. Now we'll trace it again. And this is the midpoint of that circle. So let's mark it on here. And then you meet this midpoint. See, this is the midpoint of our other circle, this midpoint. And you draw like this to make sort of a football shape. And you take 4 of these football shapes, so let's do times 4, and we'll mark it as face. And put these together, they'll make a sphere. That's a perfect circle. So this one's a little wonky, so I'll probably fold it over and make it a little cleaner. Oh, I need my tape too. This is my tape dispenser. It looks like a kitty. Now we cut our little football shape. Let me try and make sure it's at least somewhat equal. This one's not great. I can do better than this. There we go. See, we use 4 of these all together on each side, and that will make a sphere, which we want for the head. So to show a quick example of how that works, I'm going to cut out another one of these and show you how I put stuff together. Oh, thank you, Raspberry. I didn't notice, I was so busy working. Okay, now we have 2 footballs. Make sure they're the same shape. They're a little off. I'm a little off today, apparently. Figures. That's all I'm streaming. So you have 2 footballs. Take some tape. That's another thing that's good about this. Newsprint is easy to cut and easy to fold and mess with. I take the 2 footballs, I'm going to connect them at the top. And then connect them along the edges. Just put this more sideways so everyone can see. This is basically like pre-sewing, I suppose, so you don't have to... Some people can do this, like they do this with just spare pieces of fabric. I don't have that much spare fabric. So I just use newsprint. You can use regular paper too, but I think newsprint is honestly like the most convenient. Now see how you put that together? It becomes a sphere. It'll even out a bit because fabric is a little more malleable. But that's basically like the roundness of the head right there. I tape things together so I know like how big they'll be and stuff ahead of time. And make sure they all look nice. So this will basically be my default head for the moment, and as you can see, it's about the size of the original head. It's a little small though, so I might make these a little bigger. My 25% wasn't accurate enough. Let's make a bigger one. Whatever you make, you want to make somewhat bigger than you're actually making, because well, the pattern should be somewhat bigger than you actually want it to be, because it's going to shrink a little bit when you make it into the actual plush, because you have to compensate with the like stitch lines, because there's going to be a certain amount of space that you need obviously to like stitch it together. I'll show you that when I get to fabric though. I went out and bought fabric yesterday, so I got some fabric. There we go. Alright. Head times 4, because that's how many we need. You want to label everything, because otherwise you're going to get everything lost. Let's get all this trash out the way. I'll make another one of these just so I have a reference. I have a sweet piece of paper right here. One of these two so we can have the shape of the head ahead of time. Aha! Ahead of time! Unintentional puns. Oops. This head is fairly easy because it's just a sphere. If I have a weirdly shaped head, one technique is to just make a sphere out of fabric and just keep piling on like fabric until you've gotten it the shape you want. And then mark down the stitch lines on that fabric and then just cut that out. I've done that before, like with sands and stuff. All my sands doll were created that way. This one isn't as complex, thankfully. For more human ones, I tend to use a more flatter face, so I usually don't... Like the back of the head usually has some dimension to it, but the front of the head is usually flat and doesn't have a lot of stuff coming out, so usually you can just make a vague face shape and it'll do fine, unless you want to do something really dramatic with the cheeks or whatever. Now we're going to put this back together. If this were fabric, I'd be doing this with thread instead of tape. One thing I like to do with the newsprint is if something doesn't look right, I'll just tape a piece of paper, like a chunk onto it, and just cut it until it looks right. And since it's all a piece of paper pattern, it doesn't really matter. So some of my pattern pieces, if I can get this guy on here, dang, like have 2 or 3 layers of paper on them because I couldn't get it right. But it still works because you just need the shape so you can cut it out on the fabric. My tape is too thin here. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, no one ever sees the pattern. It's just for this use. There we go. That's a little better. Yep, see? That's about the head. Okay, now we got the body. So the body is going to be about this thick. So I have the thickness, and we'll use this spare scrap of paper again. The head over here. About this thick. For this one, I want it to be wider at the ends. Where's my pencil? There it is. So the ends will be like this, because it's going to be wider up near the top, so it's going to be at an angle. And it has these little flipper doodles at the top, which I'll probably do like a layer like this with some flipper doodles. I'll see how long I want it, and then I'll do a thing under it. I might even just double it up and then just sew it onto the head. Let's get this same length at the other end. I'm just going to cut out a strip and see how long I need it to wrap around this head. Again, this would be easier with math. I'm not doing math. I am folding this terribly. Maru, hold down the paper. Good job. Okay. Now, since this is half of the sphere, I'll basically try to figure out what half of it would be and then double it. About a little less. That'd work. Okay, this is my end. And I want it to have this curve to it. I'm going to stick this near that end. Cut it. And then we'll double it. The second one's a little small, but I'm probably just going to keep the first one. Okay, and we'll tape these. I'm trying to stay on the camera, it's hard. Got that taped. Tape the other side. I prefer the tape that you can like write on, the kind of scotchy tape. This is the kind of clear plasticky tape. I don't like that as much. Okay. It comes out like that, and I'll tape some doodle boppers on it. So when it's attached, it'll be like that. So let's see if it's size. Yeah, it looks good. Let's put some teeny boppers on the top. I actually use this other one. It might be too short. We'll just use paper. I'll use this up here. I'm trying to save some paper. Alright, let me find my phone and look at the picture again, wherever I put it. I don't remember. Where did I put my phone? Oh well, I have a sketch. Let's see, we're gonna do these little things. I want to do half on the end because it's going to connect with another half, obviously, when it's sewn to the thing. What I might do is just do two of these, sew them like together, like as a whole loop. So then I can put stuffing in the little teeny boppers and then just sew it to the head. I don't actually know what these things are. There you go, that's about the middle. I'll take this and we'll fold it. So now we have double. See, now these ones on the ends will connect, so they'll both be a full piece. There you go. Looks like a crown. And we'll tape it onto this, because like I said, it doesn't really matter how messy the pattern is, as long as you can use it on the final thing, you're good. Well, unless you're like showing it to other people, I suppose, then you should maybe... If I was like selling a pattern or something, I would like do it messy like this and then redraw everything for other people. Because my patterns are messy. And I keep them too. So I have like all these ancient messy patterns. There we go. And I'll curve it like that. And these will go out a bit because they'll be stuffed. So we have the head and we have the top. Now we want to do the little dress. I think for the dress what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll copy it the other way. Make it a little shorter. So if we want to make it shorter, we want to fold it a bit. And I might like widen it just a smidge. And now we can actually like attach the teeny boppers. I might like extend it like one bopper. That's a unit of measurement. A bopper! I do keep my patterns, especially ones, because I get commissions, and if someone wants the doll you've already done, if you throw away the pattern, you gotta make a whole new pattern. I don't think anyone wants to do that. It's pretty terrible. So what I do is I keep them all in like a little file folder, one of those little plastic ones. Let's add a bopper. And I just bring them out. They're all filed and like attached with pins so that all the patterns are like stuck with each other. And now the dress will flare a little bit because it's a little wider than the top. And with this I'll probably do again like double it and then sew it in. I'll probably do that with this whole thing, so it'll kind of be like an inverted thing. And maybe I'll do the stem all the way through it, which is good because I have a ton of brown. It was about the only color I still had. I have this brown left over for when I did a Diva plush. The pattern usually maybe takes me, it depends on how crap it is. Like sometimes I just do terrible patterns. I'm not a professional. As much as I charge people for crap, I'm not a professional. Might take me about as long as, say, like drawing a picture, maybe an hour. The sewing entirely depends on the piece itself. Sometimes I did the last one I did was like a centaur thing. So it was like twice the usual amount. Because it was basically like 2 whole plushes, and that took me like a week. Sometimes I can, like if I, find something to keep me entertained, or the last one, I had a twisted ankle and I couldn't do anything. I can like work on them all day. There we go. So that basically be the body, and it'll turn like this and be about like 25% smaller than it is now. I might make an indent here, though that might mean I have to enlarge it. Maybe I'll just shrink the top a little. See, if you make like an indent, it'll have more of a curve to it. So I might do that at like the ends. This will make it flare out a smidge more. You do the little indent, you fold it till it looks nice. That's another thing that's nice about newsprint. You can just like fold it until it gets to about the shape you want. It'll again be a little more geometric than it will be on fabric. And then you just snip off the fold. Now I'll take this in a smidge. Oh, that was kind of already taken a little, isn't it? There we go. That'll make this curve a little more because it has the little connecting pieces. Okay, now we have the stem. This design is fairly easy, thankfully. Let's see. If I'm gonna continue the stem all throughout the body, that means, let's see if these fit good length. Okay, so it's a little longer. This is about where I want it to end. Well, my compass is long enough. There we go. So about this height. Let me throw some of this shit away. Ooh. And then I'll do the hair, and then I can show you all how I cut you. Well, I guess I have to do the eyes too. Alright. So I want the stem to be about this long. This on the other side. Let's see. Bottom. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe a smidge taller just in case. Now this I'm basically going to make like a round post with a circle at the bottom. And then we'll attach to the head up here. Let's see, how thick do I want to make it? I don't want to make it any thicker than this guy. Maybe about that thick. Most of it won't be seen anyway, because it's going to be on the inside. Oh, and then I'll be tracing the bottom of this to make a circle. Probably just like when I put this on the fabric, I'll just put one side on and then the fold of the fabric will be here, and then it'll just be one piece instead of two. I'm kind of self-taught, so I kind of just do all this by the seat of my pants. Okay, there you go, there's the base. Now the hair is a little more two-dimensional, so basically, head is this big. There's the center. Want the hair to be a little smaller because it's going to come out the top. There we go. And the hair is about a circle. It's always good to have a compass if you work in three-dimensional junk. I should mark these. Top times 2. Bottom times 2. Center is 2. Always label them or you'll never be able to find them later. I did a 6 from Little Nightmares plush, and I didn't mark what was the top and bottom of the raincoat I was working on, and I left it alone for a while and I could not figure it out. There we go. But it ended up nice. I sold her recently. I found a cosplayer of her as at a con, and I was like, I made all of that, and I'm trying to get rid of it because I'm moving. And she was like, oh my god, I'll take it. I'm like, I'll take $20. And they're like, you got it. I think it might have been like 30. I forget. Custom plushies cost a lot, but usually if it's like original stuff, I'm more than happy to just get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. There's a little pom-pom on the top of the head. I'm going to leave that a little... I might make the little pom-poms a little deeper. That way they'll pop a little more. I go to... Nowadays I usually just go to NecoCon because I'm cheap. And sometimes I go to Anime Mid-Atlantic. I go to like the little tiny like Tidewater Comic-Cons and stuff. I'm in Virginia. Though Tidewater Comic-Con's getting kind of big. I've actually met someone who watched me online at a con once. I can't go to the Undertale meetup though. I'm sad. I wanted to. But I have a plushie that I donated to it for the raffle. And some stickers, I think. So if you go, maybe you'll win it. Type in hair. Cons are expensive, and a lot of them are far away. The Atlanta Tale meetup is just too far away from me. And I have school starting around when it comes out, so... Okay, eyeballs. This is where the tracing comes in. This is why I went over it with marker. You can see it. I actually have a more detailed way of tracing things, but I'm not going to do it now because it's too simple. And I plan on moving like up to Canada and stuff when I finish school. Preferably somewhere rural. Well, there'll probably be even less cons. That's about the only thing I don't like about rural areas. Less conventions. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'd say that's big enough. Eyeballs. Now we have a thing on the chest. Let's see. Move this in camera. Little chest jewel. And eventually there'll be a belt. But I can just cut a strip for that. I don't think I need to pattern out, say, chest. Oh, let me check. It seems a little chunky. Okay. Seems a little chunky on my end. Hopefully it's not as bad for everyone else. Oh, my computer's hot. Eyes. If it's chunky like and like buffering, tell me. I'll like stop and restart the stream. Okay. We have all our pieces. Just throw this stuff away. Put my highlighter anywhere. I think it's in my box. Oh, it's not my phone box. Where is my highlighter? This is my sewing box. Y'all can look at that while I go find my highlighter. Ah, here it is. There's my good cutting scissors, my thread scissors. There's my highlighter. Okay, and where did I put my fabric? There you go. Where's my brown? I should have been better organized for this. There it is. Okay, fabric time. What is on the floor? Get out of my way. We'll do brown first since it's got the least amount of stuff. Alright, move this out the way. Get some flat. There we go. Pins. Fold this. There you go. We're gonna put like this much. I usually do like finger length for stitching. There we go. My good scissors. We don't want to cut like right up to it. That won't leave any excess for the folds of the fabric and stuff. Okay, one thing I like to do, I have highlighters. This won't work as well on this fabric, at least not to this camera. These are water soluble, so I could literally like lick my fingers and get rid of it. Here is the line of the fabric, so I know not to cross that when I stitch, because obviously I can't have this pattern on it when I stitch. There we go. You can't see it as well because it's too dark. There you go. See, now there's a line, and it's going to be on the inside of the fabric, so no one's going to see it. And like I said, it's water soluble. You can just get a wet towel or something, wipe it all off. Now I'm going to make a little circle at the bottom. I'm going to take these off. Connect these ends. The only problem is you get purple all over, or blue or whatever color you have all over yourself, because it like rubs off really easy. I have a circle. I'm gonna draw this circle real quick. This will be the base. Cutting with these scissors, not the good fabric scissors. I have like 12 pairs of scissors. There we go. We can set this guy off till we sew. I'm not using a machine right now. I think that would be too noisy to stream, honestly. We'll set that guy over there. Because my camera's attached to the table, and I would have it on the table. Maybe I could like mute the sound. Oh, that's not the right scissors. I'll stop and restart it. Hopefully that will help. Oh. Take that, stick it with this until we use it. Stick these guys together. I'll use them later. Scale is brown off the table. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that will help with the buffering. Got some gray. I might iron this after I do it. I got head. Head is the only gray, I think. Yeah, it's the only gray. Most of it's blue. Blue! I need 4 of these, so obviously we gotta fold it 4 times. I think I'll do it long ways. There's 1. Can we only make 3? That'll be fine if we only make 3. We can only make 2. Oh, but then we can fold it sideways. There we go. Stick it in. Oh, it is. I should unset that. Let me set that off mature real quick. Let me. There we go. Okay. There you go. Now if you reset it, it should be fine. Okay. I just done poked myself. It's probably gonna have a lot of trouble auto adjusting at some point, especially now. Hopefully it'll be okay. I might turn off like autofocus later. This is the first try, so there we go. Okay. Cut this a little close for my tastes. Now mark with the highlighter. Yep. Now these, when we sew them, will go... I have way too many, don't I? I derped. Oh well, could have spurs. These two will be connected here. Take another two. I'll keep these spares over here, I guess. Oh. These two will be connected over here. And then this one will go to this one. But it'll be a little floppy if I connected them all now. And this one will go this one, and together they'll all make a sphere. A little foot bows. Just put one on the back. I want to do that side. There we go. Alright, that's the head. Pull these guys together so I don't lose them. Now we do the body. Bye bye, gray. I have some fluffy blue. This is the same blue I do use when I do blueberry. I ended up getting a lot extra because they were basically at the end of the sheet and the person was just like, eh, just take it. So I got like a foot for like the price of a half a foot, which was nice. Not that it was expensive. I think it was like $3 a foot. I'll do two of these. I actually had some gray and this blue left over because I've used both for blueberry, but I just didn't have enough to make this thing, so I had to go out and buy some new ones. I have a fabric store, but usually I just go to Walmart because theirs is kind of the cheapest, and like I said, the people don't care. They'll give you the rest of the thing if you're at the end of it. Whereas fabric stores can get a little stingy. It's hard to find a fabric store that sells flat patterns because they all like cater to quilting, which I do not do. So at worst I shop online. I usually go to like fabric.com or some other places for fancy stuff. I'm not like great with fancy stuff. You know that fabric that the kids love where it's got all the sequins and you can like run your hands over it and it like changes colors? They call it mermaid fabric. My sister loves it. It is $20 a yard. That is crazy. The most expensive I've ever got was $9. I can't imagine how you'd sew with that either. I've never sewn with sequins. I imagine they'd really like, unless you like hand sewed it, I don't know if you could like use it in a machine. There's a cosplay club at my college. I've been tempted to join up, see if I can get any sewing tips. I did a, satin at one point, and I had never done satin, and I regretted never having done satin and just trying to do it. This is a fleece. Fleece is a very good all-purpose thing, which is why I usually just, unless someone wants a specific fabric, I just use fleece. It's fairly inexpensive. It's really easy to work with. It comes in a lot of colors. It even comes in some weird textures if you like buy it online. It's available, like I said, at Walmart, usually in at least the base colors. Sometimes I couldn't find a lot of orange fleece. I had to order orange fleece. So if you're gonna just try to start, I would actually suggest starting originally in like felt, because you can get that like super cheap at just a craft store, and practicing with that first, because that's what I originally worked in. And then moving on to like fleece, because there's no reason to like start with fancier fabric if you don't know what you're doing, because you're not gonna do very well when you start out. I'm barely doing well, and I've been doing this for years. And you can make some amazing stuff with felt too. And I don't mean like the pull felt. I don't do that, unfortunately. I wish I did. Some people make some neat junk with that. I'm always super gel. Let's see. No, looks like I'm going to get my orange one. There it is. Think. Oh! There we go. Yeah, that's a little better. This one, felt is usually fuzzier on one side. Since this is like a robot guy, I'm going to put the less fuzzy part on the outside and the more fuzzy part on the inside. But you can also switch it, like if you want one part to be skin and one part to be fur. Comes out really nice. Now I have orange all over my hands too. There we go. I am making a little robot plush. That's supposedly what it's going to look like. I forgot to do a pattern for the arms. Oh no! That's okay, I can just make one. So here, he has no arms. Let's do one real quick. Let's see, where's my compass? Get over here. Whoops. About that big. And that wide. Okay. And we'll do 2 sets of these. Usually I would do little like ticks here and here, but I don't think I'm going to do that for this. I think it's simple enough. I'm getting so low on newsprint. But it is 14 degrees outside. Here, let me start it and stop again. Maybe that'll help. Voila. I've never done a stream with a webcam. I'm wondering if maybe my webcam is like too strong, because my boyfriend got me a really fancy one. Should I put tips on this? Maybe little ones. There you go. I just gave it a quick start and stop, hoping it would fix it. I've never streamed with a video camera before, so I'm wondering if maybe my definition is too high. This is the first one I've ever done, so it's gonna be, like I said, a little janky. There you go. It's got some little tips, so that'll give it a little more roundness. Okay, since we just did those, let's cut them out. We're gonna need arm times 4, because we're gonna need 2 arms, obviously, and each arm takes up 2 pieces. Where did I last cut? There we go. You want to kind of like keep cutting along the same area of the fabric. You don't just want to like go to the center of it and cut things out. Because then you'll have less fabric to work with later. A little more. There we go. Or I can put it sideways. I'm recording this, so hopefully when I'm done, it might take a while to post up because it'll take a while to process it. But you'll be able to watch this all without buffering and stopping and stuff like that. I'll put it up on my YouTube channel and I'll put up a link on my Tumblr. I don't know if I'll be doing any actual sewing today, because that takes a while. I don't know if y'all just want to sit and watch me sew. That seems kind of boring. There we go. Let's make another one. I guess I can just put this away. I don't need it anymore. So we don't have any other colors besides a darker blue, which isn't going to take it either. Hopefully mine are cute. There we go. Neat. Let's give him another arm. I think mine are still a little wonky. I'd love to get like a, what you call it? An embroidery machine. So you can have like those professional embroidered eyes and features and designs and stuff. But those things are like $1,000 at the lowest. So, iron-on for me. Iron-on does come off a little bit professional at least. I don't think I'll ever get. I don't think I'll ever get enough money for my plushies to justify spending $1,000 on something when I can just go out and buy iron-on fabric and it looks decent. Besides, most people like I'd really have to raise my prices for that too, because it'd be so expensive. That would have to be like I'm actually like churning out a design that I am constantly selling online rather than just individual commissions, which is what I'm doing. Individual commissions and personal junk. Okay, what's next? Should I connect the top and bottom and just make it one piece? Nah, I want the bottom to have a little more of a roundness to it, so I'll make them separate. They'll be separated by a belt anyway. I like making plushies, but I don't like keeping plushies. So usually if I make like an original one, I like immediately want to get rid of it. So I'm like, okay, that was fun, I'm done, bye. Which is why I like plushie commissions. Because I can make them and have the fun of making them, but I don't have to make room for them. I don't know, I just like making them once they're done. I don't really care. I don't know why. I have enough stuff that I sleep with. I already have like a giant fox, and I have like 3 body pillows. Not any with like anime characters on them, just like long pillows. And I have like a squid that's not too big. I have enough things to cuddle with. You can get them at like, I got one of mine at Walmart and I got the other one at Target. I even printed out a body pillow-case that has the perks from Fallout 4. That whole perk tree thing. And like a vault billboard on the other side. So you can get like custom printed body pillows. I just don't want one with a person on it because that would freak me the heck out. I just can't get, like, when people get those, you just roll over in the middle of the night and someone's staring at you. And it's not like another physical human being. That creeps me out. I don't know, maybe they're lonely and they like it. Well, if you commission it, I can always, I have the like dimensions for one, and there's a website you can order it from. You just put it in and like they print it out for like $30. It's pretty convenient. It'd be like the price of a regular commission. So if anyone wants a body pillow, I can design it for you. I'm just not going to pay for you to get it printed. That's up to you. I'd make pretty much anything, really. I don't have any like one design or one consistency. Oh, don't worry yourself. I need to make an edit to the Patreon because I just added something to the perks. I'm also going to be doing a Patreon stream on either Friday or Saturday, depending on when the patron wants it, for a tutorial on how to draw curvy bodies. And it's going to have a lot of blue butts, so if you like Blue's butt, come and watch. It'll be a lot of fun. Where are my good scissors? This is weird, because usually I have this all angled at the exact opposite. I would never want anyone to support me or get a commission or do Patreon if they didn't have the money they needed themselves. That would make me feel so bad. I would cry. So I only want people who have like excess money that they feel they can waste on me. The money helps me, like I just used a bunch of it to buy professional stuff because I have like on-the-job training this semester. But it's not necessary for me to like eat and sleep and stuff like that or have the place I live. I'm in school, I'm getting my master's. I'll have a job once I graduate. Hopefully I can sew these well enough. Not telling. I don't really want people to relate what I do online with my real life, so just assume it's in something really impressive. But it's something practical that you can get a job in. There you go. That you require a master's to work in. I only have like this semester and next semester left, and it's all on the job training. And then I'll be done. That's also why the prices for all the commissions are going up this weekend. because I have to go back to school. Right now I'm on break. Now the top. Did I do the top already? I think I did. I derped. Alright. Is that everything? I think that might be everything. I'm gonna take a break and let my computer cool down because I think it's getting a little hot. And I'll process this video. I'll show you all how I'm gonna put them together first. That'll work. Alright. Got these guys. These little cinchers here. Before you sew anything, you want to sew these guys. So that when you put them together, they'll already be together. And then these bigger guys are going to be connected over here. And over here, I'll make one big loop. So I got like skirt. Now let's put it on the dude. I need to cut out his eyeballs too. I forgot those. Got a skirt. Everything's obviously going to be a little bigger because it's going to shrink once we do the actual sewing. These guys connect on these sides. Top of it. And these two will be connecting in the middle. Got the arms. Obviously we're going to do these little cinchers first. There's a word for them, but I don't know it. Like I said, I'm self-taught, so I don't know a lot of the words for things. I just kind of do what I'm doing. I'm sure if I like post this online and an actual sewing person finds it who's like actually got taught, they'll probably correct me and show how I'm doing everything wrong. There we go, that'll be the arms, or at least one of them. I'll go over here. He looks like he's in a giant sweater. Connect these gweeblets. I just call them ticks personally, because they're like ticks in the fabric. Or notches, I suppose, like a notch in your bed. And you want to make sure, like this is the fuzzier side, this is the smoother side, so I want it to go like this. Because then the tick will be on the fuzzier side, which is the side I don't want exposed. Get off. I got this arm. Oh, that's right, I wanted to double these up. So I need to do 2 more of each. There you go, so I'm not even close to being done. And then hair. And then face. And then stem. Ta-da! Let me cut more of these tops and bottoms. These guys all out of the way. Let's cut the eyeballs first. Where did I put the eyeballs? Where did I put the eyeballs? They fall? Where'd you go, eyeballs? Oh, I can always cut more. I'll do that. I do. I don't really like the fandom. But the show itself is pretty great. I think it's getting a new season. I was kind of behind on the last one too. Eyeballs. Whoops. Yeah, I try not to let fandoms affect the things I enjoy. And I've been in a lot of weird fandoms. There's some fandoms I enjoy, even though there's like terrible elements to it. Like, I really love Undertale. I like their fandom. I think they make a lot more fun stuff than they do terrible stuff. Same with Homestuck. If the good outweighs the bad, I enjoy the fandoms. I want to be a little cleaner with these eyes because they're actually going to be somewhat exposed. So I like cleaning up the fuzz on the edges. And they're actually going to be like the size of their pattern. They're one of the few things that are. See, there's no like excess on it. Because they're just going to be sewn directly on. I think the Undertale fandom is a lot of fun and very creative. They're just some terrible people. I don't like it when people put down like fandoms for quote unquote cringe, because that's just people having fun. It's when people are like actively destructive to other people that I get mad. Cringe is just people usually just having fun. But if you hurt anyone, you know, screw you. Everyone enjoys weird junk. I enjoy especially a lot of weird junk. I don't see why we should make fun of other people just because they enjoy weirder junk than you do. I'm in the monster fandom. I have fellow fangirls who sexualize Pennywise. I don't sexualize Pennywise, but I don't like go around and say like, hey, you stop that. I don't like that. No, I just put it down as like, I don't really care about this. I actually have a bigger problem with people who sexualize the xenomorphs from Alien. Because there's a bit of a problem in like the monster fandom where some people like monsters that don't necessarily either like have the communication skills or the intelligence to consent. And consent's kind of important to me when it comes to stuff. So that's when it gets a little iffy. And also there's like the Japanese videos of monster rape, which I also especially don't appreciate. On my Patreon, if I reach 200, I'm gonna be doing a series of monster comics about different relationships in between like original monsters and original characters who are human, or monsters and monsters, and it's all gonna be consensual. And hopefully entertaining. I've come up with some weird ideas. I've started sketching up the characters since I'm actually like over 100. There we go. Oop. Let's see. Then we gotta do the bottom. Where are my bottoms? Let's see. Where'd my bottom go? There it is. Maybe if I get close to 200, I'll start posting up like cover pages, because I'm gonna I have like 5 planned. Some are like not safe for work, some are safe for work. Some are like probably gonna be edited to be one or the other, so like the safe for work people can see it and the not safe for work people can enjoy like extra junk. But there's like 5, so I'm gonna have my patrons vote on which one comes first when I start. I'm trying to cover like all the monster genres, from like possession to like kaiju and robots. Yeah, as long as it's fictional it's fine, but like there's so much non-consensual stuff in like classical monster stuff, since it was mostly like Japanese tentacle porn. I want to have more consensual stuff in the fandom. Because it's starting to really grow. I mean, I watch a lot of people who are in the monster fandom. It's starting to be like the next furries. And I want it to have at least some like examples of socially acceptable junk. Be the change you want to see in your fandom. Alright. I think this is the last piece. I can talk more when I sew, apparently. When I'm drawing, I'm concentrating so much. Sometimes I'll have streams where I'm completely silent the entire time. So maybe I'll do more sewing streams. Maybe I'll come back and sew. I don't know, I hand sew, so it's gonna be like really slow and boring. I don't know if anyone wants to watch that. Maybe I'll like hand sew everything together and then I'll come back and I'll show you all how I like stuff it and stick it together. There we go. I'm not that entertaining. Let's see, where's my bottom? There it is. Okay. I don't think, yeah. If I'm just gonna layer these on top of each other, I don't need the little notches. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna sign off and this video's set up. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll come back on later. Bye bye.